Okay, so this is going to be my Penn State Maryland preview. So Penn State's going to play Maryland on Saturday at home. Maryland's coming off of a heartbreaking loss to Ohio State. Penn State's coming off of a kind of unsatisfying win against Rutgers. Penn State's ranked number 12. Maryland is not ranked. They're 5 and 6. They're looking for a win to be able to put them in a bowl game where a loss would probably likely end their season. With this game, Penn State I think is about a 14-point favorite. It is home. It is a home game. It's a senior day for Penn State. When I look at this matchup, Maryland they've really been up and down all year. If they can play like how they did against Ohio State and be able to put up points, I think they can make it a game. But their defense has struggled all year. Penn State's offense has not been great. But that's an interesting matchup because if Maryland's defense can do enough to keep themselves in the game, that's critical. Because if Penn State can put up a lot of points, I don't know if Maryland can go into a shootout. I don't know if they can do that back-to-back weeks. I think Penn State's defense is getting better throughout the year, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. Penn State's offense has really been kind of at times. It's been a little inconsistent. I think that I hear people saying, "Oh, well, if Penn State plays like how it does against Rutgers and Maryland plays like how it did last week, Maryland, they're probably going to win this game, or it's going to be really, really close." But the other thing is, if Penn State plays like how it did against Wisconsin, or Iowa, or Pitt, and Maryland plays like how it did against Michigan State and Iowa, Penn State's going to win this game like 31-7, okay? So I don't really, want to hear that, oh, well, because the week before they lost to Indiana. So they were in that game, but there were some things that kept them in the game. Maryland has a really, really good running back. They're not overly skilled at quarterback. They don't have a great passing game. So I think if you're Penn State, you really just try to stop the run. Penn State's not great at it, but if they can kind of bend but not break, I think they'll be okay. I think Penn State has a secondary that should be able to limit Maryland in the passing game. Penn State offensively, Maryland is not great defensively. I think Penn State's had games where against Iowa, Wisconsin, not so much Rutgers, but where they've been able to get open enough and they've been able to run enough. I think Penn State should be able to run a decent amount, and they should be able to get open enough. I don't think it's going to be a 300-yard day, but I think McSorley should be around 200 yards, and I think Sanders can give him 100, maybe 150 yards on the ground total. I think Penn State should be able to get 350 to 400 yards. I think Penn State they might struggle in the red zone. They might have to settle for some field goals, but I think overall I think Penn State will be able to get the job done, and they will be able to. I just don't know if Maryland's offense can put up the points necessary to keep themselves in the game because they have a good running game, but I think Penn State should be able to key in on it. I don't know what else they have really. And the thing is, with Penn State's offenses, the receivers have not stepped up this year, the veteran receivers. So now they got all these young guys, and all these freshmen are playing. And with McSorley being dinged, since the receivers weren't getting open earlier on in the year, McSorley had to run the ball a lot. And since he had to run the ball a lot, that made him get hurt. And now that he's hurt, he can't throw as accurate, and he can't run the ball as well. So that means that, he's kind of limited. But at the end of the day, I think Penn State's going to win this game 27-17. I think the offense is going to do enough, and I think the defense is going to be able to get off the field enough to be able to give the ball in the offense's hands. That's my pick. Peace out, guys.